he says he's in a very good yeshiva, but he has a non-kosher device, meaning a phone or a computer that's not filtered. And he's going down. He says he's going down. He wants advice. What should he do? I want you to understand, if you have a non-kosher device, I want you to believe me. What I'm going to tell you right now, this is the real truth, the absolute truth. Even if you don't keep Torah mitzvot, you want anything to do with this world, you want to make sure that you have a kosher phone. If not, I want you to recognize there's all sorts of different types of addictions. There's, God forbid, drug addictions. And there's alcohol. All sorts of things that you can do. And I want you to recognize the non-kosher device, meaning the non-filtered internet, that is the worst addiction, the hardest addiction to break there is in the world. You can't anything. You can't return to Hashem in repentance. Even if he wants to return to Hashem in repentance, he won't be able to. If you take the biggest tzaddik in the whole world, the most righteous person in the whole world, and you give him a device like this, he's done. He's finished. Why? Because you have to recognize the lust, the sexual lust, is in your eyes. It says you shall not lust. That's one of the 10 Commandments. You burn up your soul. There's no choice except to literally take a hammer, break the thing, and go buy yourself a kosher filtered device. In America, there's Nativ. Here in Israel, there's Nativ, there's Etrog, there's filtered devices of various forms, including Etrog that has Etrog mobile. You should break it with your own hands. You literally are breaking the evil from within yourself. You can't. You're literally going to make someone with one of these devices is holding into awful sins. You're against the whole Torah. Like I said, do you believe in the Torah? I want you to go light a fire on Shabbat. You look at me like, what are we talking about? Of course it's forbidden. No, listen, I got all sorts of excuses and reasons and whatever why I need a fire on Shabbat. I need to turn the light on. I need to light a fire. I need a fireplace. Heat. There's nothing. There's no thoughts to think about this. You believe the Torah? That's it. You can't have a device like this. You can't have open internet. You can't have unfiltered internet. You can't. First off, every moment that you have a device like this, meaning again a phone or a computer or any form, you're far from emunah. You're far from personal prayer. You can't believe in Hashem. You're far from living your life. You're far from having any happiness in life. How will I hear you? Okay, we have the emunah hotline. I want you to know I do all of my work with Etrog. I have a completely strong filtered internet. And I have a simple phone. So you take a little simple phone. Yeah, you can get a little MP3 player. You have lots of ways that you can get to Rabbi Arush. Saying just like this device, as long as you have it, even if you try to waken yourself up to stop, it's like someone who throws out his cigarettes and then goes buys a new box. You have to uproot it from its root. The way that a person wants to go, they're leading him. 15 minutes, I'm telling you, is a minimum. He says, Rabbi Arush says, I've helped people get out of some people who are addicted to gambling, addicted to hard drugs, all sorts of things. I helped them get out of it. And I want you to understand, the first thing you must do is to pray on this 30 minutes a day, every single day. I'm telling you 15 minutes is the minimum, but you really need 30 minutes a day, every single day, praying about this. Hashem, help me. Right, to say, thank you, Hashem, that today I had a clean day. Thank you, Hashem, today I got away from my iPhone. Thank you, Hashem, I had a clean day today. Please help me to remind myself constantly that every moment that I have one of these things in my hands, I'm sinning on all sorts of commandments according to the Torah, according to the Rabbanim. Wow, thank you, Hashem. 2 days I've been without my iPhone. Help me to remember. To remember all the suffering that I went through when I had this device. And I'm not even talking about all the confusions that come with this device. Not even talking about the sins that come with wasting the time on the device, even if you're not sinning. It's all sinning. That's it. You're against the 10 commandments. You're against don't covet. You're against don't lust. Do not go after your eyes, after your heart, after which you stray. It's one of the 6 constant commandments. You're supposed to remember every single second. You're prepared to be over some of these most serious commandments every second? And he says, what can I do? What are you saying? You believe in the Torah? But people say, what can I do? You say like, okay, well you can't put on tefillin. What can I do? I can't put on tefillin, I'm sorry. No, you have to recognize you have lust. It doesn't matter what Hashem commands you, because you have lust. You want something different. But be honest with yourself. Say, I'm sinning, and I'm addicted, and I need help. Hashem, help me. But don't let yourself fall into a place you say, I don't care what Hashem says. I don't care what Hashem commands me. And again, obviously you have to actually literally break the device. If he's really for real. And I remind you again, in these 30 minutes, you're begging Hashem to, please let me know. Then let me remember at every second how many terrible sins I'm doing with this device every moment. Being on internet every moment, I'm doing so many sins. Please, God, save me that in my life I should never, ever, ever come back to a device like this. And I'm not even talking to him about going down. Because you can't overcome this evil. If you're going to get rid of the evil, so you're going to, God willing, start going back up. So good, he's going down. That's understandable. He's holding something, he's against the whole Torah. And I'm telling you, Rav Elitzur is saying, I'm testifying someone who will go on this way, he'll start to have nice life, good life. Pray on this. Then you're going to get into heaven on earth. And I also want to comment myself that when I started hearing Rabbi Arush's classes some years ago already, and Rabbi Arush was talking about Facebook and how it takes you from this world and how people were finding they have a good life. They have a good life. There was a young girl. What's she doing? She's not doing anything bad in this. She had a non-kosher phone, and she came up to Rabbi Arush and she asked Rabbi Arush to break the phone for her and give her a blessing that she should find her soulmate. And which Rabbi Arush did both, obviously. And a few weeks later, she called Rabbi Arush and she said, I still haven't found my soulmate yet. But I want you to know something. I didn't realize that I was a slave to this phone. I had no idea. And Rabbi Arush used that as an example, that he said, here's this girl, and she's not doing terrible sins on it. And what was she doing? She's on Facebook, whatever. And she's saying to me that she's admitting that she was a slave to this phone. And I want to say the same thing. When I first got Facebook, for the first little while, I was basically almost never on. I checked in here, there. I went through a difficult period in my life. I felt very alone. I started getting more into Facebook and more into groups. What was I doing? I'm a young mother. I was on mommy groups. I was on, all sorts of different things to do with babies and, children and mommy groups. So, well, I'm not doing anything bad. But I threw myself into it. And instead of working to fix my situation in my real life, I was more and more and more, and I still remember this. I'll never forget for the rest of my life. The first time I had Facebook up on my computer in my kitchen, and the thing went ding. The notifications go ding. And I was like, what is that? I am not going to live my life running to every single ding. What the heck is this? I have to figure out how to turn this off. And in time, Facebook got smarter and smarter and smarter. This was a long time ago. Mind you, when you could still actually choose what the heck was on your newsfeed, and your newsfeed wasn't full of filth and totally immodest images and things that if you're listening to this, you're sitting there and you're not even understanding what I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, when you get away from it, you start to have a sensitivity that, like for instance, when I go to tell people about these videos, I one time accidentally clicked on my newsfeed for 1 second, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to make sure I never see that ever again? You can't live like this. Anyway, so I remember after some period of time, I don't know how long it was, 6 months, a year, a lot of suffering, I realized that I was literally running to the stupid dings on the Facebook, every single second. And here Rabbi Arush was talking, and he was talking about how you have no olam haba, you have no next world. Someone who has the unfiltered internet, he loses his olam haba. He's sinning so badly that he's losing his next world. And about how you're going to have to give judgment in the next world for every second that you wasted. You don't even realize how much time you're wasting. I don't even realize, just like I'm doing work and I'm trying to help people, how long it takes to write an email, how long it takes to take a text message. You can talk to someone. I'm not saying you shouldn't have friends, but we need real connections, real human connections. And that's real, and that's not people just all trying to make like they're all the best and they're all whatever, and everyone ends up feeling horrible. How much there's a whole psychological thing what's going on with social media, and why is it they're proving more and more the more time you spend on social media, the more depressed you feel. It's a whole nother discussion. But just the addiction aspect. So I didn't know what to do, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? Everything runs on SMS and everything this, and your bank, and you're this, and you're that, and whatever. And so I got to a place where I said, okay, I'm going to have to get myself onto filtered internet. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how I'm going to make it work. But I'm going to start praying about it. And that's what I did. I started praying about it, asking Hashem to help me. And I started learning about it. I started reading. I listened to more and more classes from Rabbi Arush until I was just one day got to a point where I was like, if you would up to here, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with how much time I lose. I'm done with sitting down and saying that I'm going to do this for 10, 15 minutes and suddenly discover that I lost my whole night and it's been 2-3 hours. And I'm done with actually feeling halfway decent, but I sit down and check something and all of a sudden I get into all sorts of confusions and this and videos and I can never get myself off YouTube. It's the middle of the night and I'm so depressed I don't even know what to do. I want to just stay on YouTube so that maybe I won't even have to realize how much time I wasted and how much I have to do with my life and what the heck is going to be with me, and now I'm going to have to face my life. I'd rather just lose myself in YouTube for another hour. And I could go on for a long time about all the different things that I went through. And so one day I just had it up to here. And I just said, I don't care what, I'm just switching. And you know what? I have never regretted that decision for 1 second. I only regret what on earth took me so gosh darn long to get there. I switched. In the meantime, I had a few things I needed to save here or that. Obviously, I went on Facebook. I did close my account, which I'm very happy about because now I go and, I post these videos from time to time at a friend's house because I can't get any of this at home. I refuse to touch any form of iPhone. This is a computer. I have a computer, like I said, with a strong filter that's approved by the Rabbanim called Etrog here in Israel. Again, in America, there's Nativ. There's multiple different options. You need something that's a very strong, high-level filter here in Israel. Even something like Rimon can be quite dangerous. YouTube can be dangerous, and not necessarily. You need something that's literally filtering out everything, and it's only deciding, as opposed to saying, okay, let's filter out the bad. You need something that's literally only letting through the okay, the bank, the this, the that, and even that. You know how much time I say to myself all the time, I feel like, if I spend so much time going to the bank And whatever, what if I didn't have this? You know how much time I lose on email? You know how much of my life I lose? How much time? And you don't even realize anything to do with the screen is an addiction. Talk to any person, any psychologist, anyone who's an addiction specialist, anyone who knows anything about hypnosis, they will all tell you anything to do with the screen is hypnotic. You can't get off of it. Literally, I set myself timers, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. They're going off in my head somewhere else, and I wake up only who knows when, and who knows what I let go of in my life until everything is like burning around me, because I couldn't. I'm not focusing. I'm not functioning. I need to do this. I need to do this. I really had all this time. You get lost in it. Anyone who wants to be honest knows that I'm telling you the truth, and I'm telling you there's a wonderful, beautiful life to live when you get rid of it. You have a simple phone. If you're in America and there's no such thing as kosher phones, you're living somewhere else, get yourself a simple non-internet phone. Or at the very worst, if you literally can't find without internet, something that's so small and has such a basic screen that you would never want to go on internet for your life because it would be absolutely impossible. And if you really, you have to sort of check yourself, if you really need SMS, Rabbi Arush says it's okay to have an SMS phone. But again, no internet, no links, no chat, no nothing. Plain, simple text message back and forth, whatever. Only for what you need. Okay, you need something from the bank, you need something here, you need to get a code from Google, whatever. That's it. I myself, honestly, like I said, I use that. I have it for my work. There are times that I need to be able to reach someone who doesn't answer the phone and is only available by text messages and things like this for Google phones, whatever. Good. I have one. It sits on my desk. Here in Israel, because we have kosher phones, it's many Rabbanim have said that it's a problem even to walk around until someone should see you. So I try not to walk. I basically don't walk around with it, and it sits in my door. And when I get something, I need something, and if I have to send something, I basically don't use it. It sits there. I have a 10 shekel prime, which is the equivalent of like $2.50, which just gives me enough to basically have the line. That's it. You know, my phone is a kosher phone. And I can't tell you how much. And again, besides obviously the important work I do translating and other things, the more I can get this thing off the computer, the more I can close the desk. I have a desk that closes over the computer. The more I can get myself away from it, the more happy I am with my life, the more I'm with it, because whatever else you're doing, you're in control of your life. How long do I want to spend on this? What do I want to do? The moment you get into that screen, it's like you lose your life, and you come back and you're like, what happened? And where's my time? And how late is it? And what's going to be with me in the morning? I'm going to be too tired. And again, that's not even saying that you're doing anything that's sinning. We're not even talking about that and how it destroys a person. Again, there's lots on this. You can listen to more about Rabbi Arush. All I can tell you is, here's Rabbi Litzor. He's guaranteeing, Rabbi Arush is guaranteeing, and I'm adding my 2 cents to say, it's really worth it to you. You can't imagine what waits for you once you get off the screen.